Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. In this video, I just want to further talk about letting go. Because, sometimes that's hard for us to do, especially, when we're stuck in that cycle of abuse and we don't want things to be a certain way. I understand, but in spite of what we want, in spite of what is fair, in spite of what something could be, if someone would just do this or that, in spite of how low you lower your standards, even, like, can this person just have common courtesy and decency, forget about being together, particularly for those of you who have to, quote unquote, co-parent with them. In spite of all of these things, we still end up being in a situation with narcissists where we just have to let go because they're just too toxic. They're just too toxic. I know this firsthand. In any way I slice the pie, that slice got to be took out because it's just too toxic. And then in that case, I will be sacrificing myself to maintain that relationship. And we'll put relationships in quote, okay, because it's not a good one that you're going to be getting. I never knew my biological father. So when I ended up having a child by a narcissist the second time around, even though that was through rape, but it was so embedded in me that my children would know their father that I tried to find a way around that. All the toxicness that went on in his and I relationship, I tried to find a way around that. But at the end of the day, he was still a narcissist. All the trauma that he caused me, I had PTSD. Post-traumatic stress disorder. I had symptoms of that. I used to suffer from panic attack. I used to have nightmares of this person harming me at one point through my pregnancy. Because of course, after he forced that sex on me and a few other things that was just even more degrading and disrespectful, I went no contact. And I went through a lot during that pregnancy. Oh my gosh. One day, perhaps I'll go further into details. Good Lord. I went through a lot just to give birth to those babies. Beyond what I've ever disclosed on this channel. I went through a lot. And knowing psychologically that this was stemming from that relationship and consequences from that relationship. That was an additional mindfuck to me. Okay? I just got to say it plain and simple. Psychologically, it put me in a space. And I started feeling anxiety every time I would think about this person. And that is what was bringing on the panic attacks. Anxiety and fear. And then things that were pent up inside of me and suppressed. Because they put you on a defense. They come in, they fuck your life up. And then you got to pick up the pieces. When you're picking up the pieces, you don't always have time to be feeling feelings and to be dealing with emotions. You're just trying to survive. You're just trying to recoup financially. You're trying to keep a roof over you and your children's head. You're trying to get by. You're trying to prepare for the impending babies. You're trying to get ready. All these things being thrown at you, maybe your emotions get pushed down the list. And that sets you up to have that built up anxiety inside of you. But your subconscious knows what's going on. They know who's had their hand in that situation. Your spirit knows. Your soul knows. Your body knows. Your heart knows. So yes, when you think of that person, you're going to feel an anxiety. Your spirit knows, oh no, that's bad for us. We got to stay away from that. So I did a whole lot of counseling. I did a whole lot of work. I did a whole lot of healing. And then I thought, you know what? I've forgiven this situation. And even though it was horrible with me, maybe there's still a trickle of a chance that they could still know their father in some kind of positive light where it won't fuck them up, where it's controlled, and maybe there could be something a little good out of it for them, like something. But guess what? That didn't happen, because that person is who they are. And guess what else? Once that person started becoming toxic again, which is never far around a corner, the PTSD starts to trigger. So now I wake up 2 o'clock in the morning with anxiety again because you verbally abused me earlier in that day, and it was a trigger. And it was like, oh no, we're back close to that energy again. Oh no, they're doing it again. Oh no, it's coming. And this is another reason why sometimes, in spite of our best efforts, in spite of what we wanted, in spite of how we really wanted to try to bend and just try to find some type of a crack of positivity, a crack of light that you could see and hold on to for dear life, you can't with these people because they're just too toxic sometimes. There's nothing to work with sometimes. Sometimes it's really no contact, even if you have children. I made a video where I said, yes, you can attempt to co-parent. It's really parallel parenting most of the time, but you can attempt to do something with them if there's no harm for the children, and obviously harm for you as well. But there are some instances where that narcissist don't mean anything good for you or your children. There are some instances where just being around that narcissist could send you into a spiral, or just continue to pick at you, pluck you, add new offenses, trigger your PTSD. There is just times where you just have to wash your hands of the situation completely. There are times where that is just the case, and it's painful because you don't want that in the ideal situation, but you don't have the ideal circumstances to be able to promote and foster the ideal situation. Nothing near it, nothing close to it. So there are really just times where you have to wash your hands, give it to God, and just move on with your life. There are times when that happens, when we're dealing with a narcissist. They don't mean any good, or else they would just be doing that. They didn't really want to provide, or else they would just be doing that. They didn't really want to spend time with the kids, or else they would be asking. Actions speak louder than words. Okay? And your reactions also. If this person is triggering you to that level where you're just having panic attacks and anxiety when you're interacting with them, when they're doing toxic shit to you, that is a clear sign that you are just to stay far away from that person. No matter what you want, no matter how many children you have, no matter, how married you are, they're making you sick. They're bad for your energy and your spirit and your psyche, and you just have to honor that. And continuing to fight against it is just going to be negative consequences for you. And then all the hard work that you're doing to make yourself healthy, you're slowly bringing in the unhealthiness again, and sometimes quickly. Because our mind remembers the dysfunction. It'll go travel down that pathway if we let it. But we have control of what we bring into our lives. We have control. And once you see, hey, I tried. I tried. In spite of everything that this person did to me, I still tried to put the children first. I still tried. And it still didn't work because it takes two. It still didn't work because they're still incredibly toxic, and even more. It still didn't work because they're still a narcissist. And sometimes there's no way to work around it with them. Sometimes they're just on a certain level of the spectrum where there's no give. There's nothing to work with. And all you can do is just wash your hands, give that to God, and move on. Okay? We got to stop forcing the issues. I've never told you guys to force the issue. Even in the video about quote-unquote co-parenting with them, I never said anything about forcing the issues. All my examples were them coming to you in peace, them offering you something, them stepping up in some shape, form, or fashion. It was all about that. It was never about forcing the issue and twisting somebody's arm to do something that they're supposed to be doing. Okay? So never get it twisted with me. The people that are ordained to be in your life will be there. So when people walk out the door, let them. Trust the universe and trust God that He is saving you from something. He is blocking you from something. And sometimes we chase after it because it breaks up that fairy tale we had or that ideal situation that we really wanted. But everybody doesn't get that situation. Okay? So I hope that this message helps someone and validates someone that has tried everything that they could do in their circumstances that may have, had some dealings with the narcissist, or, like instances with children are involved, and you've tried everything that you could do, but the narcissist has been so toxic that there hasn't been a way to gray rock and sustain things. There hasn't been a way to deal with them even on the smallest of levels. There's nothing to work with, and you've done everything that you could. You've exhausted all your options of trying to work with them. And all you can do is just let go and let God. And sometimes it's like that. You just make your peace with it and move on. Say a prayer and move on. Stay prayed up and move on. It is what it is. God, you women out there, God will send a father figure into your child's life. It doesn't have to be the biological father. It could be your father. It could be your brother, your uncle. It could be the wonderful man that God will eventually bless you with, or who has already blessed you with. It could be that stepfather. Okay? Same thing for you men. Same thing for you guys. A lot of times, I speak in that heterosexual format, but it goes both ways. It goes both ways for you guys that are listening. Don't think that I forget about you. Take what I say and relate it to a woman, okay? Because narcissist, that's unisex. It could be a man or a woman, young or old, rich or poor, black or white. Okay? It's across all, locations all over the world here. Trust me, I get inboxes from all over the world. People all over the planet are dealing and bumping into and healing from these relationships. And they've tried their best. All we can do is our best in this life. That's all we can do. But you can't sacrifice your own peace of mind and your health for anything. Because then what will you have? What do you have without your health and your peace of mind? You don't have nothing. Okay, guys? So I hope this video resonates with someone. It's okay that you just had to completely let go. Sometimes it's like that. And with narcissists, more than not, that is the case. More than not, that is the case, guys. So if you're one of those cases, don't beat yourself up about that. Don't beat yourself up about that. Look what you were up against. You gave it a fighting chance. You tried. You tried. Okay? All right, guys. So if this video resonates with you, please hit the like button. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys are hitting the bell so that you're notified when I upload videos, okay? Which is quite frequently. I have a very extensive playlist, guys. Please go through it and take what you can from it. Some videos you need to put on replay. Some messages you need to hear over and over. Some messages get you through certain aspects of stages of the healing process. Lean on them. Lean on them. Thank you to everyone that donates to the PayPal for this channel. That's under the description of each video if you want to donate. You know, if my videos have helped you and you want to do that, that's fine. I appreciate it. My channel is not monetized. It's been eligible for that, but YouTube has like this backlog thing going on, and I don't know when it'll ever be over. I don't know when they're going to start accepting new partners again. But, you know, my channel isn't monetized. So the donations, I'm thankful for them. I have books, guys, on Barnes & Nobles and Amazon.com that really help you through the healing process. If you are trying to heal through this toxic relationship, if you are doing shadow work on yourself, check these books out. I'm not just saying it because I wrote them. They're helpful. If you see what my videos are doing for you, trust me, the books will do the same. And they're going to hit other angles that aren't talked about on here. Okay? And this is one way of filling in the gaps. Reading, educating yourself. Because I made a video about filling in the gaps after the narcissist is not in your life anymore. Keeping yourself busy. Read a book. That's going to help you heal. Okay? So we got the hard copy and we have the ebook available. Let them bless you. I do always advise that you read them in order. So you can read the X Factor Volume 1 first, then the X Factor Volume 2, then the Beauty of the Eye. And if you have also experienced sexual abuse from the narcissist, I have written a book called Silent Tears, written from a survivor to another survivor. Okay, because I don't think we have enough out there that deals with the sentimental aspect of sexual abuse. We have these clinical pamphlets with all of these statistics, and yes, it's good to understand this, but after this has happened to you, you need a warm embrace from someone that knows what that experience feels like and what you're going through in that moment. Someone to validate that and give you some tips and tools on how to get over those hurdles that are specific to those who have gone through that situation. I highly recommend that to you, okay? I offer coaching, guys, one-on-one personal coaching for your specific situation, okay? Because sometimes when we're in it, it's hard for us to see from the outside. It's hard for us to be objective. And it's hard when we're still in our brokenness as well to see that. So therapy and counseling is good, but even if you don't get it from me, but it's great to get it from someone who's been there and done that. It's not too many situations that you guys have experienced in narcissistic abuse that I haven't, okay? Because I've married one, I've been separated, I've been divorced, I've had children with one, I've been abused by financially, I've emotionally and psychologically, sexually and physically, domestic violence. I've been there. I've had financial devastations. Like, it's not too many angles that you guys have experienced that Lakia hasn't been there and done that. So I already know what it feels like, how to get through that, and what I did and what could help you. I could see those angles. Sometimes we can't see the angles. And not only that, my own personal experience, but I've talked to many people as well. All right, so use me. I'm here to help. Just email CoachLakia@gmail.com and we can go from there. You can go to LakiaCrawford.com and you can see my services. I do it via Skype, over a voice call over the phone, and now I've added FaceTime, and I do email coaching as well, guys. So, all the conveniences right there for whatever method you think works best for you. And a lot of people are taking advantage of it, and they're being blessed by that. But you have to be willing to invest in yourself. You deserve the best moving forward. Give that to yourself. Whatever you think that will help you, do it. Okay? All right, guys. Until next time, please continue to do the work. Continue to do the work. Be patient with your process, because you really want to heal thoroughly and fully, okay? All right, we don't want no microwave, quick thing going on here. We really need to get to the bottom of it for once and for all, and make it come full circle, and really, really put this behind you, and go ahead and illuminate and just transform yourself, because that's what you're going to do. And you'll look back like, man, I'm not that woman, I'm not that man anymore, and you will see your progression. It's very possible. And that's what life is about, evolving, living and learning and evolving. That's what life is about. None of us are perfect. We all have our work cut out still. All right? But just be willing to do that work, and the reward will be yours. All right, guys. Until next time, please, please, please stay safe, and please take care.